You have been told that passive income is the answer, so you tried something. Maybe a rental, maybe dividends, maybe a course someone sold you, and what you got was either more work than your actual job or returns too small to matter. The real problem is not that passive income is a myth. It is that most of what gets labeled passive is just a different kind of active, and nobody is honest about the difference up front. There are exactly 7 income streams that, once built, require almost nothing from you on an ongoing basis. No landlord calls, no content treadmill, no babysitting a platform. This video tells you what they are, what they actually take to build, and what they realistically earn. I want to start with a truth that most passive income content avoids. There is no such thing as income that requires zero effort to create. Every passive income stream has an upfront cost, whether that is time, money, or expertise. What separates truly passive income from the semi-passive version is what happens after that setup phase. The streams we are covering today all share one characteristic. Once the system is running, your ongoing time investment drops to near zero. The first stream is high-yield cash and bond ladders. This is the least exciting sounding item on this list, but it may be the most underrated. In 2026, short and medium-term bonds and treasury instruments still offer yields that were unimaginable just 4 years ago. A bond ladder is a strategy where you purchase bonds or CDs with staggered maturity dates, say 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months, so that cash becomes available at regular intervals while the rest continues earning yield. The setup requires 1 afternoon of research and account opening, and after that, it is almost entirely automated. You can build a basic bond ladder through Treasury Direct with 0 fees and 0 ongoing management. On a $100,000 ladder, you might be earning 4 to 5% annually, depending on the rate environment, which is $4,000 to $5,000 per year for essentially no ongoing work. This is not glamorous, but it is genuinely passive, and it is real money. The second stream is royalty income from digital assets. This category has expanded dramatically in the past 3 years. The traditional version is book royalties. You write something once and earn every time a copy sells. But the modern version includes selling digital assets on platforms like Creative Market, Envato, or Etsy digital downloads. Things like templates, fonts, presets, stock photos, or printables. These assets sell repeatedly with 0 marginal cost or effort after creation. The key insight here is that the creation effort is front-loaded and finite. A well-designed template pack might take a weekend to build and then generate sales for 3 to 5 years with no maintenance. The platforms handle discovery, payment processing, and delivery. Your job after launch is nothing. The most successful digital asset sellers identify a specific professional audience: real estate agents, small business owners, content creators, and build assets tailored to that audience's recurring needs. The third stream is licensing your intellectual property. This is one of the highest leverage passive income strategies that almost no one talks about in personal finance content. If you have expertise in any field, professional, academic, or creative, there are likely companies and platforms willing to pay for the right to use your knowledge, brand, or content without you doing additional work. Music licensing through platforms like MusicBed or Artlist is one version of this. Photography licensing through Getty or Shutterstock is another. But the more interesting modern version is licensing educational content or frameworks to corporate training platforms. If you have professional expertise, companies like Coursera for Business or LinkedIn Learning license content from subject matter experts and pay recurring royalties. You create the content once, they distribute and sell it, and you earn passively on every use. The fourth stream is a revenue-sharing content portfolio. A YouTube video published today can earn ad revenue for 5, 7, even 10 years. A well-optimized blog post can generate affiliate commissions for years through organic search traffic. The distinction between a hustle and a passive income system here is the delegation model. If you are personally writing, filming, and editing everything, it is a job. If you build a system where others execute while you approve, the ongoing time commitment drops dramatically. The upfront investment is in building that system, and the ongoing return is largely passive. The fifth stream is peer-to-peer lending and private credit. This category has matured significantly and now offers accessible options for non-institutional investors. Platforms like Fundrise Credit and Percent allow accredited investors to participate in private credit deals previously only available to large institutions. Returns in this space range from 8 to 14% annually, depending on the risk tier, which substantially outperforms most public bond options. The risk profile here is different from bonds. These are less liquid, and default risk is real. The mitigation strategy is diversification across many loans or deals rather than concentration in any single borrower. Once your account is set up and your allocation is deployed, the income arrives monthly with no action required. The main ongoing task is reinvesting distributions, which most platforms now automate. The sixth stream is software and app royalties through no-code tools. This has become genuinely accessible to non-developers in 2026. Platforms like Bubble, Glide, and Softer allow anyone to build functional software applications without writing code. The business model is to build a software tool that solves a specific recurring problem for a defined audience, charge a monthly subscription, and earn recurring revenue as long as users find it valuable. The most successful implementations are highly specific: a tool that manages scheduling for a specific type of service business, or automates a specific compliance task for a particular industry, or solves a workflow problem that a defined professional group faces daily. Narrow and specific wins over broad and general, because broad and general already has well-funded competitors. The setup phase is real work, but once the tool is built and customers are paying, the revenue is genuinely recurring and passive, assuming the tool does not require constant updating. The seventh stream is net lease real estate, and this is different from being a landlord. Net lease investments, often accessed through REITs or fractional platforms like Arrived or Fundrise, involve properties where the tenant is responsible for taxes, insurance, and maintenance. The owner simply collects rent. The tenant is often a national brand, a pharmacy chain, a fast food company, a medical office, with long-term leases of 10 to 25 years. The passive quality of net lease real estate is significantly higher than traditional rental property because the tenant handles everything. No late-night maintenance calls, no vacancy turnover, no repair management. The trade-off is that yields are lower than active landlording, typically 5 to 7%, but the truly hands-off nature makes it a different category of investment. Fractional platforms have made this accessible with minimums as low as $100, though meaningful income requires meaningful capital. Now let us talk about the honest framework for evaluating any passive income opportunity, because there is a lot of noise in this space. Ask 3 questions before committing time or money. First, what is the true setup cost, both in time and money? Second, what does the income look like at 12 months, 24 months, and 5 years if everything goes reasonably well? Third, what is the failure mode? What happens if it does not work, and can you absorb that outcome? The streams we covered today all pass this test when approached honestly. They each have real setup requirements, realistic income trajectories that are not overnight riches, and defined failure modes that are manageable. That is what separates genuine passive income from the kind that exists mainly in sales funnels. Stack these strategically. The most financially resilient people do not rely on one passive stream. They layer 2 or 3 that complement each other. A bond ladder provides stable, low-risk base income. A content portfolio or digital asset store provides upside with higher variance. A net lease REIT position provides inflation-linked real asset exposure. Together, they create an income base that is diversified, genuinely passive, and compounding over time. If this gave you a new way to think about passive income, subscribe to Daily Money Mindset. We cover exactly these kinds of advanced strategies 3 times a week. Hit the like button if this was useful, and drop a comment below telling us which of these 7 streams you are most interested in pursuing. Resources and platform links for everything we discussed today are in the description below.